this is a very interesting one where the new presentation nemesis is mentioned. Okay. Before he found a canker, before he came into the new presentation, he was really, really sick, and all the laboratory tests to determine his illness resulted in nothing. And then, at long last, it seemed there was a product there that gave some promise, but it too failed him. And then she finally heard about the new and then Mariam visited him, and he says the day he sang the new, he became completely well. And he talks about seeing the guides. After that, they showed him Harold in a trash can. In fact, rotten. He was trash. You know how you have put trash in a you have trashed something and it is deteriorating. It is just, you should throw it away very, very quickly. So he saw him in the trash can, and it was getting rotten. And then the guides, the real guides, told him not to have anything to do with him with Harold again. I should continue the new you. And then in another stretch of experience, he saw Harold had died and was in a coffin. And so he even climbed on the rooftop and was trying to awaken him to wake him up from the dead. And his attempts were ineffective. So this is what he says, and then concerning his illness, he was well, but each time in his dreams he will be attacked by members of the corporation, and you will see the Reza and the other corporation members who will attack him in the on the other side. And then when he gets up, it will seem as if his health problem has come back, because he had a problem with his lungs. And so each time he has this attack, he will start having some itches and coughing and all the like. It seems the illness had returned after these attacks. So this is his share, and then in another experience.
Well, let's take it one at a time, Charles.
Yeah. Okay.
Just for a moment, because it gets to be a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Very simply, in the beginning, when the doctors could not notice anything, actually, my former wife's father, dad, had the same situation. And it was actually, the illness was in his causal body. It was tap lining. So, see, he's going back and forth right now, because this is helping him recognize what's taking place. So when we have any difficulties, no matter what they are, and I go through them too, I get huge attacks and whatever. And these are wake-up calls for me also. And that is that, see the pattern here? So at first he goes to the doctor, he goes all this stuff, nothing's working. And then when he does the new you, all right, he's ready to go, all of a sudden it clears up because that's tap lining is what it is, all right? The boys are demonstrating something to him. Now at the same time, he's having real side experiences because the members, the Joni robots, is what they really are. They're all conditioned by her. They're attacking him because he's the bad guy and he's not conforming, just like the one world order is attacking all of us if we don't conform. And so now the tap lining is coming back. But through this process, he's recognizing how this tap lining is working. It's not so much about the illness or whatever, but he'll get a handle on it once he faces it. So this is a wake up, isn't it? It's a wake up for him. The new you is a wake up, but there's a lot more to this, and that is that now eventually, yeah, the boys will sometimes take care of things for you. It's like your dad. He'll take care of a parking ticket or a speeding ticket, okay? We'll do that once in a while. But as you go out there and you're driving on the road, hey, things are still going to happen. And now you're going to learn and you're going to see that, oh, now I see how my dad took care of the ticket. Oh, he paid for it. So now it's my turn to pay for it. So the same thing with this is that, yeah, you're still going to get attacked. You're still in life. But now you're going to learn to defend yourself, just like a boxer practicing. So you're going to take some blows. You're going to get knocked down. Your trainer is going to come and pull you up. It's like you're okay, etc. But you're going to go out there and you're going to be boxing again. And so the thing is that these people are going to continually come at us. What I'm doing here, and it seems a little bit odd or strange at first, it's really showing people how to build their strength, not run away with life, not just agree to be passive and unaware, but to face it, so that you can handle everything. That's why we're into everything. And really, all we're doing is sharing something wonderful. But according to how people see it, just like now he's come into the new presentation and it's working for him, it alleviates the tap lines. Well, just like taking a bath every day, you got to take the bath every day. It's, you're going to go out there and you're going to get dirty in the world, but now you know how to take the bath yourself, right? So when you were little, it was fun. Mama gave you the bathtub. You resisted. It's like, oh, I don't want to take a bath. But she grabbed you and they put you in the tub, and sometimes you screamed, but all of a sudden you were clean and you felt happy. Well, the same thing now. Now you learn to take your own bath. And so what I see objectively looking at this is that this is where he's recognizing what took place. And now he's also going to be more so recognizing how he can handle it and eventually get on with his journey so he can stand pure and real with the is. You see? So cool. So it's all part of the wake up.
Okay, Dwayne, in the other part of his, the second part of his dream is just talking about his, could we call it lack of luck in the physical life, to get things moving in his world. It says at his job site, that he was to do he had been contacted and he thought he would have a very lucrative contract, musical contract. But at the last minute, it was diverted from him and given to some other persons. So he was left empty-handed. So he's wondering what is actually happening with his life. Is this how his life will just continue? What's wrong? So he's just wondering aloud. Yeah, Dwayne?
Okay. It's very simple. So this is how real life gets. Okay, so it's, yes, we like our fantasy world of dreaming, which is fine. That's where things start. You decide life is a dream. It really is. Um, and you make decisions. And at times, many things come out. It's like you make this decision, you make that decision. You want to travel there, you want a relationship, you meet somebody, you get married, you have the house, you get a job. Okay, now as you go along in life and experience, what you're also experiencing, and you're not always recognizing it, and that is that others have free will also. So yes, he did whatever he did, wrote the music, did whatever. Okay, I don't know. It doesn't matter. He creatively prepared himself, presented it, and someone else got whatever. And I deal with this too, myself, on a bigger scale. Things that I can't even tell you about. And here's the idea. Yes, you make the decision. You do the best you can, but now you have to deal with other people's free will. This is what's so cool about recognizing the isness. This is where eventually you become self-sufficient. But in the meantime, when we have the personal self to deal with and we want to accomplish things, well, in creation with the personal self, we have other people's free will. So you can sit there and hope and pray and do all these things and create all these ideas that you want other people to do, and you can even control them, and you can even force them into agreeing with you, which, the cabal or the one world order is doing that to everybody. Then you're in a particular situation, and it's not really good or bad, it's just that now you create these funny agreements that you have to deal with. But overall, what he's dealing with, it's not about him. It's not about right or wrong. He did what he could. He presented it. And like anything, the other person is making a choice. That's how it is. And so as we go along, yeah, there's a lot to figure out. And I've been in, I'll say, business deals, many of them. And most people give up. They go, well, we can't do this, Dwayne. We tried this. We can't do it. There's no such thing as can't. Life is endless. There's always another way if you will continue to do it. You see, so I could give many examples, but I won't. But it's choice. You're waking up to the fact that, hey, other people have free will. And you do the best you can to present it, just like the new presentation. Hey, I'm doing the best I can to present it every which way I can, but not everybody is going to pick up on it because you know what? They have free will. And the biggest thing they've got to get through is their old emotional attachments too. Yeah. See, I have a bigger challenge. And that is that look at the world and how it's come through thousands and millions of lifetimes of being indoctrinated with nonsense. And so it's not that everybody's going to instantly step up and recognize this. No, they're not. Not even to save their own life, because it's huge. So it's free will. When you go out into the world, you're dealing with free will. And guess what? When you get agreement, hey, you might say you're lucky, because realistically, nobody has to agree with you. They really don't. They can do whatever they want. And so that's the challenge too, is getting agreement. And all I want to do is get people to agree to be wonderful and support something real that makes sense. But to do that, most people fight it. So again, he has the same challenge. Free will, making the choice. So he did fine. It's not about good or bad, right or wrong. It's not about, oh gee, the guides aren't helping me, or where are this, whatever. I've been with Rebazar and the boys for the longest time, and all the deals I decide, you know what, they're right there. They even help me set them up on the real side, but they cannot make the next person say okay. They cannot do that. That's not how it's done. Oh yeah, you want to deal with the gods of man? Oh yeah, the gods of man will throw a few lightning bolts at people. They'll agree. Oh yeah, you'll get your money, you'll get your riches. Oh, you think you got it. Oh, the gods answered me. Yeah, good luck. Well, now the gods got you as a prisoner, and they can do whatever they want with you because they bought you off. Oh yeah, they'll give you all kinds of money and riches and whatever. You want to I've known people where they've made deals with them, and you see it in the world. Hey, you see it all over the place. Most of these people, if it's not the president and the politicians, if it's Bill Gates with his foundation creating GMO rice, he was bought off. Yeah, you can make more money. You want to go be bought off by the cabal? Hey, they'll be more than happy to build you up, make you a movie star, pay you a lot of money, just so you keep everybody dumbed down and stupid. You'll do fine. But now you'll have to face that someday. Or guess what? You may never wake up to it, just like Harold in the first part of the experience where he's in the trash can. There's another experience here. I'll share it. I won't say who had it, but this individual just recently, and it's been many, there's so many with Harry. This person saw Harry in pure blackness, like a little gnat, could barely talk or squeak, and there's Harold, there's Rebazar and Paul watching on as the individual has the experience. Again, Harry's making choices. He made the choice. He made the choice to be where he's at. And he don't want to leave because he's self-absorbed. This is where the experience you just shared, Charles, with where he saw the guide said, stay away from him. He's in the trash can. And then he tries to contact Harold and wake him up or whatever. Well, Harold doesn't want to wake up. Harold is self-absorbed. He's the king. He's Mr. Know-It-All. He knows more than life itself. So again, it's free will, isn't it? It's always free will, and this is a wake-up for all of us. So to get agreement with something that makes sense, even starting off with the idea of the all-natural environment, that's huge. It's really huge, and that's how real life is. Now you're seeing the reality of it, so at the same time, I really strongly suggest that you really take a lot of time to recognize the isness. Because the best part is then we recognize each other, and we all stand real and support each other, and we don't need anything at all. We are self-sufficient and awesome. So again, yes, it's a big journey, it's a big decision, but it's possible because step one is you can imagine it. But in the meantime, on the earth, yes, you have to deal with free will and getting people to agree to something. Well, when you do, it's great, but there's always another way to figure it. There is always another way, and as you decide another way, the boys are there. They will help set it up on the real side. They will do that like your parents. But again, they cannot decide for the next person. Yeah, free will is a bitch. It really is. And even our own free will, because it usually gets us in trouble. So it's really wake-up time, isn't it? Recognizing what's really going on, more so than what we think we know. Or are we convinced about this self-conviction that really gets us in trouble all the time? To give up that and to recognize the isness and to implement that with what we're doing. And yes, you're going to get some slammed doors. Mel Brooks, not Mel Brooks, but Mel Blanc, the voice of Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck and all these characters, I saw his documentary. 2 years every day knocking on the door of Warner Brothers. 2 years every single day. That's like over 700 times. And finally he got in. But he kept it up. He was persistent. And this is how it is. Breaking through, because everything here is a wake up. Once you see it for what it is, more so than what you think it is. Okay? Yes, I know the Africans have a struggle to survive. Actually, we all do, because the world is controlled. And I look at the world and I'm amazed that it even works because it's so screwed up. It's so deformed and distorted and deceived and everything else, corrupt, poisoned, and just on and on. And I'm amazed that any of it works, but it does. It's working on its own function, but it's working. But free will, that's the biggie, free will. So, and you have the free will to supersede everyone's free will without controlling them. That's where you're self-sufficient. So you decide your adventure. Yes, thank you for asking, Charles. And also, Charles, would you ask this individual in French to write down his experience with the guides and Harry there, both of them? That's wonderful. And Ava will put it into a picture for everyone. Just through that experience alone, this individual has the opportunity to tell the world, if he has the courage to do so. Yeah, because again, the boys want to be known in the world because Joni's trying to get rid of them altogether. So again, we have a big challenge here. Lucky us, we get to do it because there is nobody else. And I would suggest, Charles, to listen to the recordings and what I've said here so that you can retranslate and constantly sift through them for these people, because it is a lot. It is a lot. But just as they're persistent, it will come about to where they have the recognition. So it's always that recognition. Okay, it's more so than we think it is.
The other guy about Harold, the Harold dreams, to write them down and send so that I translate into English too?
Yeah, if you write down both of them, then what Ava will do is create an image, and I would say just that one experience. You might say he can base his life on it and go out there and share it with everybody. So again, if he's willing to take on the challenge of doing it, because again, it's very real. The boys are demonstrating something to him, and they're always with him. So this is a privilege to risk your life to do this, because really there is nothing else. Yeah, so anyhow, yes, please do that.
Long Dwayne, he says he's very much in accord with sharing it and going out there, sharing it so that we do it in a post for everyone to read, and he's ready to take upon the risk to share it with others and talk about it to even members of the corporation and all the like. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this is where you get real, and this is where we have the most fun. So yes, thank you, Charles, and everyone. Miriam, you're wonderful. We will see you someday. Right now it's on the real side, but we will be all together. How fun. So I'm on with my big adventure, getting the funding, etc. Biggest challenge ever, but we will do it. We'll see what happens. Thank you so much for being there. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, everybody.